So today we're going to talk about the differences between the North and the South from pre-1860 through the end of the Civil War. The first thing I want to talk about is the North. It's important to understand that in the North, most of the soldiers who came from there were given blue uniforms to wear. Sometimes they weren't blue, but that was the majority color that the soldiers wore during the Civil War, if they were from the North or if they were fighting for the North. Also, some things that you need to know is that the North carried the American flag. And the reason they carried the American flag is because the North kept the title of the United States of America. Their president, who was elected in 1860, was President Abraham Lincoln. And one of their nicknames is also the Yankees. Also, the North was more industrialized, which means it had more factories, and it did not have as many farms. The reason it did not have as many farms is because it has a colder climate, which makes for a shorter growing season. Also, the soil in the North is rockier than it is in the South. In the North, you have large urban areas or cities. This is a picture of Boston from 1860. It's also the oldest aerial photo of the United States. The South is going to primarily wear the color gray. They are also going to carry the Confederate flag, and the reason for that is because when Abraham Lincoln is elected president in 1860, the southern states are going to secede and form their own country called the Confederate States of America. They're going to elect Jefferson Davis as their president. One of the other nicknames that they are going to have, they are going to be called the Rebels, as I am circling that in my picture of Star Wars Rebels. Some other things that you need to know about the South is that the South, the people who lived in the South were plantation owners. That means that they had large plantations that they would grow tobacco or cotton on, also peanuts and other things. Because they had large plantations, they thought they had a need for slaves. Many slaves worked on many plantations across the South. And slavery is the major issue here during the Civil War, and we will be talking about that later. Also in the South, you have more rural areas. The soil is not as rocky as it is in the North, and you have a warmer climate, which makes for a longer growing season, which makes it easier to grow crops for sale or for use during that time period. I hope these pictures will help you to understand the major differences between the North and the South.